I think it's very a complex thing to do, and I think people can really now see yeah, how it's made, or ask him. I think you also have a talk with him, or
yeah, he's going to be here. Alice Rosthorn is going to be interviewing him and doing the talk to really find out how the project came about, how he got involved, what is he trying to achieve, who are the players, who are the people that are supporting it, and also understand a little bit more about the experience of having distributed these computers. What has the reaction been in Peru versus Nepal? And so it'll be really interesting. HSBC Private Bank is sponsoring the exhibition here, and we are throughout this year going to work on asking different designers and artists to intervene on 10 computers that HSBC Private Bank is sponsoring, again, a show in Miami which will be larger, and there'll be an auction with these pieces. Yeah. So with the money that's raised there, it'll be put back into the one laptop per child, which is fantastic.
I have the impression that a lot of designers move back to old materials or traditional materials. Do you have this impression too? Or back a little bit from the plastic?
Yes, I think that certainly that rush to mass manufacture products that occurred once industrial design came into the playing ground so forcefully has somewhat receded, and in a sense designers are looking for materials that have almost been lost as traditions. So you'll find that designers are going back to China to reutilize materials and methods of making things that are almost lost, you know, lacquers, specific types of woods that are become more and more rare. So in a way, yes, it has been very interesting to see how there was this huge boom in technology and this fascination with advanced technology, and now the combination either of that advanced technology with materials that are actually more primitive and in a sense maybe not so sleek and contemporary as, let's say, corian could be, or some kind of carbon fiber or resin. The idea that they're going back to certain types of woods, lacquers, chromes, bronze. There is definitely a research that goes into materials that is not limited to only pushing the boundaries. You do definitely have some designers that are always looking for the newest methods and new advanced technologies, and front in their instance, they really do love the fact that they can explore nature and have nature almost intervene and make their pieces through technological methods that have been practically unexplored or certainly not used within this realm. So that's definitely fascinating, and I think that, you know, there's a lot of dialogue between limited edition designers and industrial designers that didn't really occur. I mean, the market has not only done a lot for the actual market in the sense of sales, but really for the creative community. You know, it's sort of tied everybody together, and there's an exchange of thought, and people are starting to work, yes, in an independent way, and of course with their own unique vision, but much more aware of what other trends are going on throughout the world. You know, if you look at, I mean, China, Pearl Lam with Contrast Gallery, it's fascinating to see how European and basically Western designers are going to China to explore manufacturing methods within China, and vice versa. Chinese designers that are coming to the West and exploring, you know, methods that don't exist in China. They don't have the possibilities to make there. And you know, materials are very specific to geographic areas. I mean, Max Lam yesterday was saying that he needed to buy pewter, and we brought it from London, and it was, you know, a box of bars of pewter, and the material wasn't enough, so he needed more material, and it just doesn't exist in Switzerland. Like, that combination of alloys does not exist. And so if you think that between the UK and Switzerland there's such a huge change in what is available, imagine throughout the world. There's a, you know, yeah, quite a difference.
Oh. Yeah, especially, for example, in here we're in a concrete dome, and Switzerland is known for building houses in concrete.
Yes.
Whereas in Austria, for example, in Vienna, it's not so common. That's really
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, no,
fascinating to
it's
see.
not very.
That's
It's
really
not about
different.
the distance, if not really tradition that demarcates what is utilized and how things look and shape up.
Your personal style would interest me. How do you your furniture at home? Is it more eclectic or homogeneous or?
Very eclectic, I would say.
eclectic.
I think I love that tension that's created between historic pieces and contemporary pieces, and I think it's fun to indulge and surround yourselves with things that you like, and there's not a color code, or things don't have to be in the same wood or from the same period. And some people love that and are exquisite at doing that. But personally, I definitely like to match and combine things that actually have attention because they are so different. I love that. Yeah.
Design Miami. Yeah, we're here in Basel, but certainly you have future projects. For example, is there a project in Asia, for example, for show in Asia?
I'm going back to China over the summer to continue working on possibly setting up the show there, or if not, at least trying to experiment and bringing either some events or smaller exhibitions, and basically pave the way for us to hopefully one day bring the show to China. It would be really interesting. I think also for the audience to be able to come to China with that kind of experience. It'll almost give a reason to collectors who maybe haven't been to China or have only been once, and to give them a program and a sense of sort of hosting them in China, I think will be really interesting for everybody. You know, the dealers, the designers, the journalists, the collectors, us as organizers. I think it'll be, yeah, really exciting experiment and experience. And as far as Miami, which is, you know, really not so far away, I mean, we're already preparing, of course, for Miami. We have some phenomenal shows. We're in talk with fantastic institutions from all around the world. The Eindhoven School, who we're very much supporters of, as well as the London Design Museum, the Victoria and Albert Museum. I mean, these are all museums that we are speaking to. We'll see what happens. You know, some will come through and we won't be able to do everything, but we'll try and do as much as we can and the best we can.
Sounds very interesting.
Yeah, Miami's going to be a bomb.
Yeah.
An explosion of creative community coming to Miami, and collectors, you know, buyers, exhibitors. It's going to be, I think every show is basically better than the previous ones, and Miami's really going to be quite colossal. I hope that Basel is going to, in a sense, really be a breaking point for us, because I feel as though we've tried to bring in as much content as possible, which we wanted to do from the start, but you have to start with a framework and then develop on that. And our design talks program are, you know, really just quite astounding, the caliber of people that we have that are flying in to speak on the talks. It's not just sort of something that we do on the side to say that, you know, we're interested in culture. I mean, they're really, really strong topics and speakers and just great combinations of visionary minds that are going to be there to discuss design and other topics.
It's a very impressive program, and I think visitors will really enjoy it.
I hope so.
Thank you very much, Ambra.
You're welcome. Thanks.